Hello, it's Andy again from the Egocast channel, and I pay attention to you guys. I do. I watch the trends, I watch the views, I know what you guys want. In the past 48 hours, one person, one video has gotten over 1,000 views. There are 3 people that have gotten more than 1,000 views on my channel. Onision, Rowing Millennial and Milo, and Don Lemon. But very soon, most likely by the time this video posts, there will be 2 people that have more than 2,000 views on my videos. Onision and Don Lemon. So I bring to you what you want, what you crave, what you need. I give you.
When President Trump mentioned Sweden at his rally on Saturday, a lot of people wondered what he was talking about.
Fucking Don Lemon.
But my next guest knew exactly what he was talking about. Filmmaker Ami Horowitz is here with me. He made a YouTube documentary called Stockholm Syndrome about what he says is...
About what he says. It's about what he says. It's just what he says. Nah, it's just what he says.
Immigrant violence in Sweden, and found himself right smack in the middle of an international incident. So here he is with me now. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. So you made this short documentary. It was about immigrant crime in Sweden. Yeah. Tucker Carlson interviewed you about the film, talking about how the...
It's so weird. Like, I don't know if I just don't notice it with other people, or if other news stations shoot it differently, or what. I don't know what it is. But Don Lemon never looks at the people, even when they're sitting like right in the studio with him. It's so weird and really creepy. And it might just be that he's the only one I notice it with, but I mean, is he the only one I'm noticing it with? Do other people just like not look at the person they're talking to? It's so weird.
Swedish public feels about the situation. Let's watch this.
They know that this crime is happening. They can feel it. The statistics are clear.
Tonight on CNN, Fox News.
But they would refer to what is the root cause behind it and say, oh, it's just more, it happened to be more violence. It's men who are raping people, not the refugees. They'll make excuses for it. The majority of the population in Sweden still want to have an open door policy. It's confounding.
So the president sees your interview, which means you influenced him.
Yeah, I'm just as jealous of him as you are, dude. I really am. Like, there's so many tweets I've sent to Donald Trump that, God, I wish that he would just, like, acknowledge one of them somehow. It'd be fucking amazing.
The President of the United States to spread, which really amounts to false information.
You don't want to say fake news. Don Lemon hates the words fake news. Hates them. Refuses to say them. Won't even say them even when he's talking about other people. It's so funny.
Right? How do you feel about being part of that?
See, I love that. I love that question. Donald Trump, he essentially is promoting fake news. How do you feel about being a part of that? Like, that's such a loaded question. Don Lemon is the fucking king of the loaded question.
I mean, the whole thing is just surreal, right? I mean, it was a Saturday night, and I get a text from somebody. I think the president just referenced you, and then I went to it and I said, I'm not sure exactly what he was talking about, but clearly it seemed to be he was intimating this interview that we had with Tucker. So yeah, it's incredible. It's surreal. Yeah. It's unfortunate that he had the misstatement, but it's been all good for me.
There's so many points in this interview that I really love this guy. This is definitely one of them. It sucks that the president, misspoke and, it's trouble for him, but it's fucking great for me. I love this dude.
Let's look at, here's what he said. Let's watch this.
We've got to keep our country safe. You look at what's happening in Germany. You look at what's happening last night in Sweden. Sweden. Who would believe this? Sweden.
See, what's funny to me is that he's saying that like everybody was watching Fox News last night. Kind of because, I would imagine he kind of knows that everybody that's there at that rally, they were all watching Fox News last night. I bet you every person in that stadium, they all know exactly what he's talking about because they were all watching Fox News last night. It's funny that he's like, it just makes me laugh.
They took in large numbers. They're having problems like they never thought possible.
So you went back and watched, and what did you think?
Well, first of all, I had no idea this would become this global maelstrom, right? Truly global geopolitical proportions. But at the time, I didn't think it was that big a deal. I kind of felt like, well, he kind of changed two words. If you just said, you know, I was watching something last night and I saw about Sweden, the whole thing, dynamic would have changed. Did he mean that there was a terrorist attack? Did he mean he was watching a show? The truth is, I can't discern that.
Well, I mean, if you look at the video and you think about it for longer than 3 seconds, he says, you see what happened last night in Sweden. And then he goes on to say they're bringing in massive amounts of people and they're having problems because of it. Clearly referring to something, not a terrorist attack. You know what I mean? Like, he explained what he was talking about. Just nobody listens to people's explanations anymore. It's just, no. It's virtue signaling.
Clearly, most of the media seemed to indicate he was talking about a terrorist attack that happened last night. I don't know how you'd come up with that, but...
Yeah, I don't know how you come up with that shit either.
It depends, I guess, on your perspective on what he was trying to say.
Well, I mean, when you say...
Yeah, I love when Don gets flustered. Like, he's so ready for somebody to insult him. He's so ready to be called fake news that anything that treads in that direction, he's...
The president has to be, and as you know, I'm sure you would agree, precise with his words, because the whole world is watching. He is the leader of the free world, and there's a lot of weight that goes in the words. And for most people, they thought he was talking about some attack in Sweden, and there was no attack.
It's fantastic journalism. For most people, they thought he was talking about an attack, but there was no attack.
But I want to play, this is a moment in your film, and then we'll discuss. Let's play this.
While the staggering increase in rape has made some news, this phenomenon has been coupled with a shocking and less widely reported increase in violent crime in general. Over the past couple of years, several dangerous immigrant riots have broken out, and shootings across Sweden have increased sharply.
Okay, so let's talk about the numbers here.
Yeah.
That's where it all falls apart.
Because we looked at the stats from the U.S. State Department. Here's what we learned, all right? Crime rose about 7% from 2015. Much of that crime was nonviolent computer fraud and vandalism. In 2015, violent crime decreased slightly. There was no staggering increase. Where did you get your information, and did you look at the official numbers?
Yeah, from a far more accurate source, State Department. I don't know why the State Department is doing numbers for Sweden.
That's the second part where I really love that guy. I don't know why the fuck the State Department for the U.S. is doing numbers for Sweden. I'm fucking stupid.
I look at the Swedish, it's called BRA, B-R-A, which is the keeper of all stats for Sweden.
Right.
I'm the key master. Are you the stat keeper?
So if you look at what I call heavy crime, so I'm talking about murder, I'm talking about sexual assault. Sexual assault from 2006 2015 is up almost 50%. Murder to 2012 and 2016 is up, I think, almost over 80%.
Yeah.
Now, so those are the real numbers.
Yeah. Well, the real numbers they don't show up almost 80%. But if you look at also
From 2012.
if you yes,
Well,
and here.
I don't know. Part number 3. Love this fucking guy. What? You look at the
the numbers that you have. But anyway, but when you look at that, if you look at, especially when you consider the population of millions of people there, and there were maybe, 12 more murders, of course it's going to spike. But there it is. Of course it's going to be higher, but that is not a spike in murders. When you look at the population, and you look at, especially when you look at the population of immigrants in the country, which is probably like 1%.
No, it's way, no, it's way higher than that.
Okay.
This random number that I'm going to throw out, let's just deal with round numbers. Just 1. No. He's like, oh, no, it's like more like 10. Like, you're way off. What are we up to? 4 now? Fucking love this guy.
Well, if you look at the population of immigrants, there's no correlation between immigrants and a spike in crime, which there is no huge spike in crime there.
Well,
The numbers don't show that. It shows that over an average, and I have the numbers here from 2006 to 2015.
Well, take a look at 2012.
That's on an average. There's on an average that there is no spike here. If you look at 2006, 2007, all the way on, yes, crime goes up and down as it does here in America and every single country. But if you look at that as an average, there is no spike in crime.
It's just not true. If you look at 2006, 2016, murder's up. From 2006 to 2015, rape is up 50%. How is that not a spike?
If you look at it overall,
overall.
Numbers go up every year, up and down every year. If you look at individual years, you can say, hold on, you can say numbers are up this year, they're down this year, they're up this year, they're down. But if you look at them over a long period of time, it's not up.
So I'm telling you, rape is up from 2005.
I understand the numbers, but I can understand. But do you understand why? Do you understand why those numbers are up, though? You have to look within the numbers.
Yeah, you have to look within the numbers. Just ignore the immigrant part of looking within the numbers, but you gotta look within the numbers.
It's because of the way that they classify.
No, that's.
I love this dude, man, and this is that's one of Don's triggers. He doesn't like to be told something that he's saying isn't true. Oh.
It's untrue. Okay. No, let's be clear.
That face. I love that face. Wait, Don. Wait. Hold it right there. Hold it just like that. Hold it like that. Perfect. Thank you so much. That's a great one.
They changed the definition of rape in 2005. I'm talking about stats from 2006 to 2015, after the definition was changed. Yeah. The numbers from 2006 to 2015 are up 50%, and they're up every single year, except for 2014 to 15, where there's a slight dip.
Okay. That's what the numbers. That's how you're reading the numbers.
That's not
how the experts are reading the numbers. But here's the Swedish Prime Minister. This was just said in response to President Trump.
Do not forget that in international rankings, in issues such as equality, human development, competitiveness, we, like our guest today from Canada, are doing very well. So yes, we have opportunities, we have challenges, we're working with them every day, but I think also we must all take responsibility for using facts correctly and for verifying any information that we spread.
It's really funny that clip is in this video. Makes me laugh. Because it adds like a subtle hint of irony that just makes the whole thing fucking mwah!
So the Swedish Prime Minister is upset with, or at least is concerned about the president's classification, yours as well. They feel they're being unfairly targeted here. They say that the numbers don't match up to what you're saying. They don't deserve to be in the middle of this. Yeah. And that you've blown this out of proportion because you have some sort of agenda behind it. What do you say to them?
Like, again, as the king of the fucking loaded question. People are saying that you might have an agenda behind what you're doing. What do you say to that? Yeah, I would have been... He doesn't say this, but if it would have been me, I would have been like, yeah, I have an agenda. Exposing the disproportionate amount of rape that is being perpetrated by immigrants in Sweden. That's my agenda. Sue me.
I think he's looking at, he said happiness is up in my country, and that's supposed to be some kind of barometer for rape and murder being up. I mean, we can go over these numbers back and forth, but again,
it's so funny. Like, I love this guy because he knows his numbers. Like, he made a documentary on this. He did a little bit of research. You know, like he went there. He went to Sweden. He saw with his own eyes shit that was going on. He got attacked, for fuck's sake. Like, so he's arguing numbers with Don Lemon, who's pulling his numbers out of his fucking ass. I don't even know where that... I mean, I haven't looked at our State Department's fucking numbers because I don't really care. Like the guy said, the broad site, that is the source for fucking stats for Sweden. So I looked at that shit, but I don't know. It's pretty fucking right there to me.
I feel bad kind of repeating the same number again. What I'm telling you is the overall number, after the change definition from 2006 2015 is up 50%.
You're making a correlation to immigrants. There's no
So that's a different question. We didn't talk about that.
There's
we
no
talked
correlation to immigrants.
Oh, I disagree. I think there's an absolute correlation. Now, we were talking...
But the evidence doesn't show that.
What evidence?
The numbers that, according to the numbers, the broad numbers that I have here, and the numbers from the State Department, they don't show a correlation between immigrants.
They don't talk about immigrants
and
in any of the statistics. Nothing here mentions the word immigrants. In fact, it's interesting. In 2001, BRA used to have a classification for what the backgrounds of the people committing the crimes. Because the numbers of immigrants were so high, they stripped that from those numbers. Those numbers don't mention immigrants, so of course there's not going to be any correlation in those numbers. But the correlation comes from other places.
See, it's impressive to listen to him talk compared to Don Lemon, because he's thrown out, well, they changed this in this year, and that's before what I'm talking about. So, gives a fuck. Like, he knows his shit, Don. He does. He knows his shit. What the fuck are you doing?
But the most recent terror attack in Sweden was actually an anti-immigrant terror attack.
Well, I didn't know. Yes,
in January. In January, 3 suspected neo-Nazis.
What? Well, all of a sudden we're talking about neo-Nazis. What does this have to do with anything?
Were arrested after bombing an immigrant asylum center in Gothenburg.
That's horrific.
Hey, that's where PewDiePie's from. I remember that when I did research on him.
If you were looking for the roots of the crime, there's also issues when it comes for anti-immigrant crime as well. That's part of the crime stats as well. But
not rape. Rape has nothing to do with anti-immigrant.
Stick to that. Rape, but there's no correlation between rape and immigrants.
I'm saying there is. Why do you say there isn't?
Because if you look, all you have to do is read the evidence. The evidence doesn't show any. It doesn't show. But any.
Wait.
Hold on. My question. We can get to that. But my question was about.
See, man, this is what I love about Don Lemon's show, man. The fucking professionalism. I have yet to see a Don Lemon show that's gone off the rails. It never happens. It's amazing.
The anti-immigrant crime as well. That's also part of
horrible, which I condemn completely. That neo-Nazi crime is an absolute travesty. It's disgusting. I'm not gonna. What do you think I'm going?
Does your film focus on that?
My film is not about that.
What is that? 5 now? I love that argument. People like to make that argument a lot. Well, why aren't you talking about that? Well, that's because Anita Sarkeesian does that shit a lot. It's, the game is taking place in a fake Africa, so it's stealing tribal shit. Well, that's not what it's about. It's not about that. You're talking about this. You're attributing things to what it doesn't. It doesn't work that way. He didn't do a documentary on that shit. It's not to say that it's not bad, and it's not to say that it's not terrible, but he didn't give a shit about that. He cared about fucking rape statistics and other violent crimes. So, with immigrants, like, that was the focus. So you didn't cover everything. Why didn't you cover everything?
My film is about the social unrest that immigration is causing in Sweden. There was a terrorist attack in Sweden in November. That ISIS claimed an attack for. Interestingly enough, it was an attack. It was a Sunni attacking a Shia cultural center. There's no difference if you're attacking white people or Shia people. That's a terrorist attack, no matter how you slice it. That was just in November.
Yes, but your numbers again don't show a spike in anything. Not necessarily your numbers, but the numbers from the state. You are confused because the numbers you're reading don't show that.
Okay, if you tell me if you agree with this number. You have the numbers there.
Yeah, I got to have it here.
The rape. Let's look at the sexual assault numbers. Yeah. From 2006 to 2015, the numbers are up 50%.
This video is definitely setting the bar for how long I'm just not talking and showing statistics over what people are saying. Like, it...
And by the way, that's an even bigger number than it seems, because everywhere else in Western Europe and the United States, those numbers are down significantly. So on a relative basis, those numbers are even larger. One more quick stat. BRA also says, you want to talk about correlation, because we didn't talk about correlation. Yeah. The people who commit rape, the people who've been raped, in the U.S., 2/3 of people do not know their victim.
He meant to say do know their victims there. He flubbed. He meant to say do know. 2/3 of victims do know their attacker. It's very important to get that straight.
Right? In the U.S. In Sweden, 2/3 of the victims of rape do not know.
Let me explain to you why those.
See, and here's another statistic that I thought was really interesting, is that almost 60% of rapes or sexual offenses happen in public places. 60% happen in public places. I thought that was crazy too.
Numbers are the way they are.
Okay.
The truth is that Sweden's rape stats are high, but it's because Sweden's laws define rape more broadly than other comparable countries.
Wait, I'm sorry.
It includes other. Hold on, I let you finish.
Okay, sorry.
Right?
Uh-oh. We all remember what happens when Don Lemon says, "I'll let you finish." He doesn't let you finish.
It includes other types of assault and unwanted contact.
Right.
It didn't include that before.
Right.
Also, there's little stigma to reporting sex crimes, so the cultural reason the numbers are high, that's why. But according to official statistics, the Sweden Crime Survey, the sexual violence rate has been about the same from 2005 to 2014. And for the most part, the story of dark-skinned foreigners targeting blonde Northern European women is not one supported by the evidence.
I'm confused.
That's 6.
The numbers are the
What is
numbers.
confusing you? 2 + 2 = 4. The numbers don't show what you're saying.
2005, I'm going to keep, I don't know if my mic is working. 2005, 2016, rape is up 50%.
Yeah. But are your,
and it's
but
up
are your,
every single year.
Okay, I
except for
don't
1
want to
year.
be rude though, but are your ears and your eyes working? Because the numbers, as we're reading from BRA,
Yeah.
right, and from the State Department,
Forget the
they
State
don't
Department.
show what you're saying. You're taking these
Those are
numbers
BRA
and you're
numbers. Do you have the
manipulating
BRA
them in
do
the
you
way
have-
that.
there's no
yes, I have
manipulation.
them. They're right here.
The
What
raw
does that
numbers
say?
are up.
That says BRA.
Yeah.
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 Show me the.
But if you look at even if you look at crime here in the United States, overall,
Yeah.
for the past decade,
Crime is down.
Crime is down.
Right.
There was a spike.
Rape is down.
There was a spike.
Murder's down.
In 1 year.
Non-Sweden.
Right. Over time.
Non-Sweden.
That's the same thing.
I swear to God, that's a comedy routine right there. That is totally a comedy routine right there. That one thing that I'm talking about, right? Yeah. And the other thing I'm talking about, yeah. And the other thing that I'm talking about, yeah. It's the same thing. I love Don Lemon, man.
No,
But it's not skyrocketing.
totally wrong.
Okay, let's say that you're right.
Murder is
but
not-
there
wait,
is
wait,
no.
sorry,
but
wait,
hold on,
okay.
you're classifying this as a skyrocket. That crime is skyrocketing. Rape.
Yeah.
It's not a skyrocket.
So you think you think when rape is down in the United States and everywhere else in Western Europe, and then rape is up 50%, that's not skyrocketing?
Because of the way they classify
You-
rapes now.
listen to me. The definition was before
if you had
those
not
numbers.
classified unwanted touching, if you're at a concert and someone touches you,
See, he's not. He always tells you he'll let you finish, but he doesn't really let you finish. And this guy isn't really explaining it very well, and Don Lemon is just ignoring everything that he's saying, and so it's not coming off right. The definition for rape was changed in 2005. He's using statistics from 2006. So it's not like he's using statistics from 2006 to 2015 and they changed the definition in 2010 and then there was this giant spike. They changed the definition. You're looking at the statistic right now. I'm talking to the fucking... Here it is. Here's a fucking statistic, right? So they changed the definition in 2005. From 2006 to 2015, up 50%. Like, it's fucking right there. Right there! What the fuck is happening? What are you looking at, Don?
on any part of your body, that is now in Sweden classified as a rape.
And so
it was not
so it is
before.
in the United States. First of all, it's sexual assault, not rape.
But it's
not rape, it's sexual assault.
It's sexual assault in the United States.
No,
but
it's sexual assault.
It's sexual assault in the United States, but it's not sexual assault in Sweden.
Incorrect.
It is now under the rape
That's
clause.
not right. So
Okay.
we're mistaken about that.
I love this guy. Every time he tells Don Lemon he's wrong, every time oh my God, it just, and the look on Don's face every time, you see it. You can see it in his face every time he says that he's wrong. Don's like,
The definition of rape in the United States, I looked at the definition.
And
in fact,
we
I tweeted
know
out.
what it is in
And
the United States. We're
definition-
not talking about the
and
United States. We're talking about Sweden.
Listen to me. The definition of rape in the United States is the same, essentially, as the definition of rape in Sweden.
Now.
No,
not now. No, it's
now.
not. It's
No, you're
not.
wrong. Yes, it is.
It's a different classification.
it's not.
Okay. All right. We'll go back and look at look at your information.
Just always professional, man. Like, Don Lemon. If I could be a comedic journalist, I would want to be Don Lemon.
Thank you.